Love's multitudinous boneyard of decay. Spilt milk of heroes. Destruction of silk kerchiefs by dust storm. Caress of heroes blindfolded to posts. Murder victims admitted to this life. Skeletons battering fingers and joints. The quivering meat of the elephants of kindness being torn apart by vultures. Conceptions of delicate kneecaps. Fear of rats dripping with bacteria. Golgotha, cold hope for gold hope. Damp leaves of autumn against the wood of boats. Seahorse, delicate imagery of glue. Sentimental, I love you, no more. Death by long exposure to defilement. Frightening, ravishing, mysterious beings concealing their sex. Pieces of the Buddha material frozen and sliced microscopically in morgues of the north. Penis apples going to seed. The severed gullets more numerous than sands. Like kissing my kitten in the belly. The softness of our reward. Wombat with Mr. Ferlinghetti.
In an approximation of Ferlinghetti's voice. Populist Manifesto. For poets with love. Poets, come out of your closets. Open your windows, open your doors. You've been holed up too long in your closed world. Come down from your Russian hills and Telegraph Hills, your Beacon Hills and your Chapel Hills, your Mount Avalons and Montparnasses, down from your foothills and mountains, out of your teepees and domes. The trees are still falling, and we'll to the woods no more. No time now for sitting in them as man burns down his own house to roast his pig. No more chanting Hare Krishna while Rome burns. San Francisco's burning, Mayakovsky's Moscow's burning the fossil fuels of life. Night, and the horse approaches, eating light, heat, and power, and the clouds have trousers. No time now for the artist to hide above, beyond, behind the scenes, indifferent, paring his fingernails, refining himself out of existence. No time now for our little literary games. No time now for our paranoias and hypochondrias. No time now for fear and loathing. Time now only for light and love. We have seen the best minds of our generation destroyed by boredom and poetry readings. Poetry isn't a secret society. It isn't a temple either. Secret words and chants won't do any longer. The hour of oming is over. The time of keening come. A time for keening and rejoicing over the coming end of industrial civilization, which is bad for earth and man. Time now to face outward in the full lotus position with eyes wide open. Time now to open your mouths with a new open speech. Time now to communicate with all sentient beings, all you poets of the cities, hung in museums, including myself. All you poets writing poetry about poetry. All you poetry workshop poets in the boondock heart of America. All you housebroken Ezra Pounds. All you far out, freaked out, cut out poets. All you pre-stressed concrete poets. All you conolingual poets. All you paid toilet poets groaning with graffiti. All you A-train swingers who never swing on birches. All you masters of the Swahili haiku and the Siberians of America. All you eyeless unrealists. All you self-occulting super realists, super surrealists, all you bedroom visionaries and closet adjunct propagators, all you Groucho Marxist poets and leisure class comrades who lie around all day and talk about the working class proletariat, all you Catholic anarchists of poetry, all you black mountaineers of poetry, all you Boston Brahmins and Bolinas bucolics, all you den mothers of poetry, all you Zen brothers of poetry, all you suicide lovers of poetry, all you hairy professors of poesy, all you poetry reviewers drinking the blood of the poet, all you poetry police, where are Whitman's wild children? Where are the great voices speaking out with a sense of sweetness and sublimity? Where the great new vision, the great worldview, the high prophetic song of the immense earth and all that sings in it, and our relation to it? Poets, descend to the street of the world once more, and open your minds and eyes with the old visual delight. Clear your throat and speak up. Poetry is dead. Long live poetry, with terrible eyes and buffalo strength. Don't wait for the revolution or it'll happen without you. Stop mumbling and speak out with a new wide-open poetry, with a new common-sensual public surface, with other subjective levels or other subversive levels, a tuning fork in the inner ear to strike below the surface of your own sweet self. Still sing, yet utter the word en masse. Poetry, the common carrier for the transportation of the public to higher places than other wheels can carry it. Poetry still falls from the skies into our streets, still open. They haven't put up the barricades yet. The streets still alive with faces, lovely men and women still walking there, still lovely creatures everywhere. In the eyes of all, the secret of all still buried there. Whitman's wild children still sleeping there, awake and walk in the open air. Sometime during eternity, some guys show up. And one of them who shows up real late is a kind of carpenter from some square type place like Carolyn. And he starts wailing and claiming he is hip to who made heaven and earth, and that the cat who really laid it on us is his dad. And moreover, he adds, it's all written down on some scroll-type parchments, which some henchmen leave lying around the Dead Sea somewheres a long time ago, and which you won't even find for a couple of thousand years or so, or at least for 1,947 of them, to be exact. And even then, nobody really believes them, or me, for that matter. You're hot, they tell him, and they cool him. They stretch him on the tree to cool. And everybody after that is always making models of this tree with him hung up, and always crooning his name and calling him to come down and sit in on their combo, as if he is the king cat who's got to blow, or they can't quite make it. Only he don't come down from his tree. Him just hang there on his tree, looking real petered out and real cool, and also, according to a roundup of late world news from the usual unreliable sources, real dead. Yet you would maybe think so, the way some librarians and cultural ambassadors and especially museum directors act. You'd think they had a corner on it, the way they walk around shaking their high heads and looking as if they never went to the bathroom or anything. But I wouldn't blame them if I were you. They say the spiritual is best conceived in abstract terms. And then, too, walking around in museums always makes me want to sit down. I always feel so constipated in those high altitudes. The world is a beautiful place to be born into, if you don't mind happiness not always being so very much fun. If you don't mind a touch of hell now and then, just when everything is fine, because even in heaven they don't sing all the time. The world is a beautiful place to be born into if you don't mind some people dying all the time, or maybe only starving some of the time, which isn't half so bad if it isn't you. Oh, the world is a beautiful place to be born into. You don't much mind a few dead minds in the higher places, or a bomb or two now and then in your upturned faces, or such other improprieties as our name-brand society is prey to, with its men of distinction and its men of extinction, and its priests and other patrolmen, and its various segregations and congressional investigations and other constipations that our fool flesh is there too. Yes, the world is the best place of all for a lot of such things as making the fun scene, and making the love scene, and making the sad scene, and singing love songs, and having inspirations, and walking around looking at everything, and smelling flowers, and goosing stacks, and even thinking, and kissing people, and making babies, and wearing pants, and waving hats, and dancing, and going swimming in rivers on picnics in the middle of the summer, and just generally living it up. Yes, but then right in the middle of it comes the smiling mortician. Carol, Western Korea.